Another statement victory for Aston Villa, and that man there, Unai Emery, what a campaign they are having. Mikel Arteta would not have been happy. They suffered only their second defeat of the season, but how damaging could this defeat be come the end of the campaign? But really, the story is on Villa. Look at how galvanised those fans look. Courtesy of the goal from John McGinn, they have taken all 3 points to go 2 points off top of the table. And at the start of the season, I don't think anyone would have predicted this run.
No, but I suppose you could go all the way back to when Unai Emery got the job. I think they were in the relegation dogfight, weren't they? I
think they were 16th, actually,
I think
in the
he only
table.
added one addition last season and they've shot right up the table and finished in the European places. So we shouldn't probably be surprised or shocked. Yeah. Maybe we are a little, but you know, he's added to that in the summer. And again, the performance tonight, I know Tony's going to look at the defensive sort of setup of Aston Villa, how well drilled, how well organised they are. It's been absolutely brilliant to watch, because I know we say the Premier League is the best league in the world, and I actually believe that, and we see lots of high-scoring games, don't we? But sometimes, especially this man sitting next to me, to win a game 1-0 is a big thing as well, because it doesn't happen by magic. It happens by hours and hours on the training pitch and being well drilled, and you've got to give that to the manager.
Absolutely.
No, I love the performance. I think it's hard for me to say all this stuff. You know? I'm sitting here wanting to Arsenal to win 3-4-0, you know, but I've got to take my hat off. I thought it was an exceptional performance, defensive performance from Aston Villa, and I don't think they've got the squad to go on and win the league. Don't get me wrong. I think they're going for a really great period where they've all hit form. They all believe in the methods of the manager, and he's got in there and he's worked hard. I know he's hysteric. He's very thorough with his group of players, and pre-season he would have drilled them really well, and it's coming out in results like this. And once you get on a bit of confidence, then you actually you know, it works in your favour. But I don't think they'll go all the way. They haven't got the strength.
You say they haven't got the strength, but we still have January around the corner. If they were to dip into their pockets and bring in some reinforcements, sign some players, could the story be different?
Everything seems under the radar at Villa, which probably Unai Emery doesn't mind, and even the owners perhaps, because they've got 2 billionaire owners as well. We shouldn't forget that. And if they feel that they've got a chance of winning the Premier League, they might not get a better chance. They go, well, if Unai Emery wants back in the January window, why not? Give him a few quid. You never know.
You never quite know. You never quite know. So talk to us about where you think it went wrong from Arsenal's perspective today.
Well, where it went wrong was how Villa played, I think. How defensively they played really well. I think because, like I said previously, Zinchenko is a very great positive thing for us, but he can be a complete weakness. But this is highlighting the square in the middle that Villa play with the back four. You know, fantastic line, and there's an offside again for you. You know, all the damage is done. They've held a fantastic line. If there's pressure on the ball, you're able to hold the line. Another offside, game over. You know what I mean? It's like, actually, if you've got pressure on the ball and that square midfield, then you put no pressure on the ball. This one's a little bit more riskier. They're still holding a great line. They got a bit lucky on this one. But it's still, the general principle is of holding a very high line, but you only do it, let me tell you, if you've got pressure on the ball. That one they got a bit lucky with. This is brilliant. This one is brilliant. Absolutely rock solid line. No way through for Arsenal. So in it comes and out of play. I think we've got another one here. Oh, this is the last kick of the game. Kick of the game. Holding it out the box. Great performance defensively from the Villa.
And it's quite fitting to finish on the conductor, because he's the man who's done that, the organised shape, the way they've been set up, and he's been absolutely brilliant. And again, I say, it is quite refreshing to look at a team defensively. And what's he changed? Well, they have brought goals to the party, but what he has brought, he's brought steel and metal and a defensive unit that's very, very difficult to break down.
Yeah, and look at how often, they're catching sides offside.
75 caught offside. The stats don't lie, don't they?
They do not lie, do they? And I guess we have to put it all down to Unai Emery. I mean, credit to him.
Boring Villa, isn't it? I'm getting my hand up already. I'm like that. I'm like, come on, offside. Brilliant.
Well, I'll tell you,
I'm so excited.
A moment that the fans would not have found boring, well, the Aston Villa fans at least, was in the 7th minute. John McGinn's goal. I mean, how good was this goal, first of all?
Yeah, well, we spoke about it seeing at half-time. Again, you see him in the middle of the picture, number 7 there, and he's just sort of, no one really gets close to him at any stage. It's great play by Bailey. We know how quick Bailey is, 1v1. He's difficult. Rice gets pulled out of position right at the death there, but, you know, it's a great touch and finish by John McGinn. Absolutely brilliant. You see the space he has. At no point there's any engagement. And Tony mentioned he's quite narrow, so it's difficult for Ben White to go all the way in maybe and pick him up. But how many times have we seen McGinn get into the box? Now, Rice does see him, so I'm not saying he doesn't see him, but then he gets sucked towards the ball. If Rice holds the ground, maybe he might be able to get some sort of block on the cross, perhaps, but take nothing away from this finish. And this is a very early start. Emery's come out. Let's come out the blocks fast, which they did at Villa Park, got the nose in front, and with that defensive block we just looked at as well, were too difficult to break down today.
And to go ahead early is quite a statement as well, isn't it, Tony?
He's a clever player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Very clever player. Takes up some really, really great positions, and I don't think Arsenal ever got to grips with that square. Declan Rice didn't really know what one of the two players, the two offensive midfielders, to actually play. You've got a situation here where he's running in the box. Actually, he's taking 3 players with him. He's taking 3 players in there. And he's just peeled off one. White's struggling, Ben struggling to get over there, and it's a great finish. Yeah, that's just a really clever position to take up. And he's just put it away.
Wow. Penny, for Arteta's thoughts there from the stands?
I wonder what has Arteta been up there in the stand, because as I said before, he's always animated on the touchline. He's always making orders, pulling people around the pitch.
Would you feed off of that energy as a player?
I think you do, and I think you're used to it as well. You have it every single week, and then that voice is not there anymore. He's up in the stand, and yes, he's radio mic to the guys on the touchline, but at the same time, it definitely has an influence, I think, on your team. And again, I suppose it's his own wrongdoing. He got booked, I think, was it because when Rice scored the winner during the week, and I suppose that's emotion as well. He got excited after such a late winner, but I think his team might have missed him today.
Maybe so. Well, late on in the game, there was a Havertz handball, late in the 80th minute, 89th minute?
Yeah, this is the neutral in me kind of says accept the referee's decision and let's move on. The Arsenal fan in me says there's a cash handball in there, it's a penalty.
That came first,
there's all sorts of things happening. I'm waiting for it to be a goal or overruled by VAR. But like I say, the neutral in me, referee's decision is give the free kick, get on with the game. Get on with the game.
We actually thought history would be repeating itself, didn't we? Because Arsenal like to score late on and they hold the record for that in the league. They did find the back of the net, but it was ruled off.
Yeah, I think it's probably the right decision. I really do. I think Stephanie had Havertz's hand at some point in that move. The referee's on-field decision was to give a free kick, and then VR got involved, checked it, and I think, as Tony says, it's not a clear and obvious error. I think it's the right decision. The right decision was come to in the end. OK, hello and welcome back to Matchday Live, where we have just seen Aston Villa beat Arsenal by 1-0, and I am delighted to say that we are joined live at Villa Park by their captain, John McGinn. Hello, John. Thank you very much for joining us. Can you hear me, John?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, brilliant stuff. Look, it's lovely to have you with us on the show. Thank you for joining us. And congratulations, okay. Manchester City and Arsenal within the space of 4 days.
Thank you.
Can't hear us, Steve.
I don't know if he's hearing us, but he definitely did when we were having a little bit of a rehearsal. John, can you hear me all right there? I don't think he can hear me. Do you know what? We're going to try and get him back. That's a shame. Hopefully we'll get him back because they have beaten Manchester City and Arsenal in the space of 4 days, and it would be great to get his thoughts on that, wouldn't it, Shay? Yeah, I think we actually had a brief chat. We did. We had a little chat, didn't we? And he said, we asked him, actually, Tony mentioned about, the defensive setup at Aston Villa and how much they work on it, and he did mention it's drilled into them day in, day out, and lots of meetings, lots of things. But again, as I said before the break, it's quite refreshing, especially from my goalkeeping point of view, and a centre-half who's sitting next to me, is to see a team enjoy defending a defensive block, a defensive unit, and there's not much space between any lines, and John McGinn, you would say, is more an offensive player and obviously got an all-important goal today, but at the same time, he has to buy into that defensive setup that the manager wants. And that is credit to the manager once again. Everyone was saying Unai Emery is a master in Europe, which he is, given his record, but he's mastering the Premier League as well this season. He also said he was bored doing it. He said all summer I've been working on it, all pre-season. It's so boring to be defence, and and also said you're going to win the league, John, and he said, yeah, they're going to. I know. Well, we can make up anything, can't we? Well, unfortunately, we can't get John McGinn back, but we are going to hear now from Arsenal's Martin Odegaard.
Well, Martin, it was another game where you really fought hard right until the end, but where do you think you've come up short this evening?
I think in front of the goals. I think we had enough chances to win the game, and I felt like they didn't create anything apart from the goals. So, yeah, definitely in front of the goals. I think that's where we lost it.
I suppose quite uncharacteristic for you not be able to finish those chances. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I don't know. It happens sometimes, but it's frustrating. Of course, I had a few myself, so that's annoying. But the only thing you can do is keep going and bounce back in the next one. So that's what we're going to do now.
As well as that frustration, is there a sense of injustice at all with any of the decisions around some close calls in that second half, the penalty shout and right towards the end there, the Havertz handball?
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't seen them again, so I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was a goal in the end, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I don't want to say too much either.
Given the way you grew into the game, when you look at the goal that you conceded, is there some frustration around that?
Yeah, I think we gave them an easy goal, but after that I think we controlled most of the game. As I said, we created enough chances to win the game, and I think we didn't deserve to lose the game, but that's football, and we have to learn from the mistakes, and we have to improve and bounce back.
So disappointment there for the Arsenal captain, Martin Odegaard. And as you can see, John McGinn is back with us. Sorry, we lost you there, John, for a moment. We couldn't hear you. But as I was saying, congratulations, Manchester City and Arsenal within the space of 4 days. What is going on? You guys are on the most phenomenal run.
It's a bit strange, I'm not going to lie. But just our home form at the minute's just been exceptional. So we went into the game today with no fear. The last team to beat us here were Arsenal last year, so we had a little bit of revenge, an opportunity for revenge today, and thankfully we managed to take it. It wasn't as fluent a performance as it was on Wednesday night, but we showed huge character and grit, and I think we stood tall today. A lot of the players who haven't played many minutes, Leander Dendoncker, Alex Moreno, they really came on, and Jacob and showed real fight and desire to get us over the line, and thankfully we managed to get a clean sheet.
Look, you set a new club record of the 15 home wins on the spin, which has been mentioned so many times, so congratulations for that. But you're also having the best goal-scoring season of your career in the Premier League. What's made the difference?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a bit more composure. The chance today, it was actually really ironic. I had the exact same opportunity in a UEFA Conference League game. I'm watching it now. Leon cut it across, and I've actually tried to lay it off. But the staff do a lot of analysis, and they said if that happens again, turn on your right foot and shoot quickly with your left. So thankfully they picked it up, and it paid dividends today. So the manager said I need to get involved more in goals, and I promised him 10 this season. Hopefully I can get more than that. Fingers crossed.
John, I was going to ask you, we spoke before the break about the defensive shape, and I know you have to do your own defensive work as well. But that goal is a classic example. Does the manager give you his freedom then to go whenever you break and from a sort of defensive block?
Well, he's done a lot of, especially when I'm on the left-hand side, he's done a lot of work on me, kind of covering the front post, not only to get those balls, but to create space for Ollie in the middle of the goal. There was a chance the other night, I've made the same run, and Ollie was free in the middle of the goal, so we work a lot on that. Sometimes we only attack against four, especially against attack with four, against the best teams. Sometimes Douglas can get involved, but the best teams in the league can pick you off from these attacks. So it's about being secure at the back, but having the licence to fire into the box. And thankfully, he gives us wide players the permission to do that, and it's paying off.
Well, John, congratulations once again. Thank you very much for joining us, and well done. Looking at the league table, I know the Villa fans are very happy indeed. Enjoy the celebrations. Well, that's all we have time for on Matchday Live, I'm afraid. Enjoyed that, didn't we? It wasn't the result you wanted, Tony, or the Arsenal fans, but for Villa, they continue their incredible home run to go within a point of Arsenal in the Premier League table. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.